Yeah. Shalom Israel, peace Israel. Barakatha YaHaWah, Barakatha YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham, Qadash. YaHaWah being the true name of our power, who the world ignorantly calls God. YaHaWaShi being the true name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. BaHaSham in the name, Qadash, Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me his truth in its entirety, according to the Bible. Peace and salutation to the Akim, pushing his truth all over the earth. And through the spirit and power of YaHaWaShi, YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, the title of this lesson, The Liar. Plain and simple, man. The Liar, you know? Wicked E, the liar, right? And it's based on this article on it came out on CNN a couple days ago, so I'm a little late, you know what I mean? You know? Reminds them don't really watch the mainstream news, you know? We have one eye on it, mainstream news, but primarily, you know, we pay attention to alternative news, you know what I mean? Independent news, right? But we do keep one eye on mainstream news. But yeah, this came out today. No, Salakia, August 14th, a couple days ago. But yeah, we'll peep in and we'll grab some precepts.
The president's White House coronavirus briefing yesterday got a whole lot of attention.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people?
All the what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of thousands.
Go ahead, please.
Confounded. Oh, confounded. Qadash, YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham Qadash. Couldn't even answer. Hold on, let's watch it again.
After 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people?
All the what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of thousands.
Go ahead, please.
Joining me now.
Salakia, brothers. One more time.
The president's White House coronavirus briefing yesterday got a whole lot of attention.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people?
All the what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of thousands.
Go ahead, please.
The king of Babylon.
Joining me now is the reporter who put the president on the spot there. SV Date is with us. He's a senior White House correspondent with the Huffington Post. And Sharish, tell us why you asked this question, and did you know that it would get a response like it has?
On the response part, no, I had no idea it would be taking off like it has. I've been wanting to ask him that question since his very first campaign event that I went to in New Hampshire back in 2015, and have not had the opportunity to do so until yesterday. And it seems to be like the key question of his presidency. I mean, the president says so many things that are not true, and sometimes it's not important, but sometimes, you know, in the middle of a crisis, a pandemic, it is. And I wanted to see whether...
Yeah. News reporter calling out Trump, man. DJ Trump, king of Babylon, right? Calling him out, calling him a liar, asking him if he regrets that he's lied to the Americans, Babylonians, right? Mark chapter 3, verse 23, and it reads, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, right? YaHaWaShi, right? Red letter. And he said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan, right? How can Satan cast out Satan? How can the wicked cast out the wicked? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, right? So, listen. Qadash, YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham Qadash, right? News reporter calling out DJ Trump, the king of Babylon, right? Psalms 58 verse 3, right? And we know wicked E is liars, man, right? From the womb, you see me? Psalms 58 verse 3, and it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? And we know who the wicked are, man. Pursuant to Malachi 1 and 4, the wicked, right? Esau, the Edomites, the wicked, right? From the womb they go forth speaking lies, man. You know what I mean? Let's finish up this clip. Right? Pure lies them talk, man.
Given any reflection, given all this time, whether maybe he had some regrets about it, and apparently not.
Did you think he would answer it?
I wasn't sure. I mean, the easiest thing was to ignore it like he did. But sometimes he picks fights. Sometimes he will say, well, no, you're fake news, or, how do you know I'm lying, or you're lying, or I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I thought there was a decent chance he would just call someone else, and that is, in fact, what happened.
You are so...
Lies. Right? The title of this lesson, The Liar. Wicked E, the liar. All they do is lie, man. Isaiah 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Right? Who is trusted in their wickedness? The wicked Esau. The wicked. Right? Babylon the Great. Right? The daughter of Babylon. Right? Thou hast said, none seeth me. Right? They say to themselves, nobody sees me, man. Right? No matter how much wickedness we do, nobody sees me. Right? Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Right? Their wisdom, their knowledge, their tech, their military might. Right? It's twisted. It's twisted their thought process. Right? And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right? They say to themselves that they're at the top of the food chain, man. You see me? Right? So they push lies. They push their agenda, they push their doctrine, they push their wine, their philosophy, you know what I mean? And then turn around and say, nobody sees me, right? Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, right? We know said the destruction of Babylon is prophesied all throughout this book, through the ICBM missiles and YaHaWaShi and his mighty and his holy angels, his mighty angels, right? And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, right? We know Babylon the Great, America the Great, Esau the wicked, right? Enchantments, their spells, their media, their tell lie vision, their music, right? It's all enchantments and lies and witchcraft. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, right? They're sorceries, they're witchcraft, man. Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, right? From the beginning, they've labored in their enchantments and their witchcraft, man. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail, right? So they've labored in their witchcraft from day one, man. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's look up the enchantments. Let's get it. Enchantments. Right? Their media, their music, their GMOs, their tell lie vision, you know what I mean? Witchcraft, enchantments. Isaiah 47. Let's look at that word, man. For thine enchantments.
Strong's H2267. Hever.
Right. Right. Association, company, band, shared association, society, a magician, charmer, spell. Right. So we know wicked Esau. That's their MO, man. You see me? Job 20 verse 27. Right? From their youth, they've labored in their enchantments, man. Job 20, verse 27. And this is what's happening right now, right? They're being revealed, they're being called out, right? Job 20, verse 27. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him, right? And that's what we see happening. That's what we see popping off, right? Everyone turn around. All the other nations in the Habakkuk 2 spirit, right, rising up, turning against, he's being, wicked Esau being revealed, right, rising up, right, In the Habakkuk 2 spirit, let's get it. Well, since we brought it up. Habakkuk chapter 2. Right? And that's what's going on, man. How long shall we? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse Habakkuk 2, verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Right? So all these other nations are turning around saying, yo, man, F this guy, so to speak, right? Right. Verse 6, shall not all these take up, Habakkuk 2, verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? Right? So all these other nations are tired, man, of being pillaged and spoiled by Babylon the Great. Right? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, we know thick clay in the Hebrew tongue, that's debt. Right? But yeah, these nations are tired, man. It's semi. They're tired and they're rising up. Right? And we know through the prophecy, through the scriptures, Babylon the Great, the other nations are going to shoot those arrows, which are the ICBMs, and it's gonna strike. Let's finish off this CNN article.
You're very aware the response has kind of illuminated the divide when it comes to people who are for the president and are against the president. People who are critical of the president championed the question that you asked. They feel very deeply their objections to the president's repeated tens of thousands of lies. But there's also, and I assume you may be aware of this, but when it comes to the White House press corps, there's also some, I think, kind of, I don't want to say, yeah, I guess I would say criticism of the question that you asked. I spoke with a number of your colleagues over at the White House from other outlets about the question, and what I learned from them is that they respect you personally. I heard that from a lot of people. They wondered, especially in your capacity being a print pooler who was representing more than just the Huffington Post, if that was an appropriate question or if it was a stunt. And I wonder, what do you say to folks who say that maybe that wasn't an appropriate question? What's your reaction to that?
Sure. I mean, and I get that. But, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. And I think I understand that when someone that we're covering is gonna lie to you most of the time, there's not a whole lot of point in asking him, what do you think about the payroll tax? And what do you think about this vaccine? He does a lot of the time he doesn't know the answer. He'll just make something up. And the one key question that we all have, I think, is why does he do this? And we're entitled.
Yeah. Yeah. He's being called out. Psalms 10, verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Full of fraud, man. Full of cursing, full of deceit. Who? The wicked. Right? Right? The wicked. Babylon the Great. The daughter of Babylon. America the Great. Spiritual Babylon. Right? His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Right? You never get a straight answer from Esau, man. Never get a straight answer from Esau. Right? Job 20. Verse 11 and 12. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Right? The sin of his youth, man, from day one. Right? He goeth forth out of the womb being a liar, man. The sin of his youth. Right? The oppressing. Right? The diaspora. Right? The genocides. Right? The sin of his youth. Right? Antiochus. Right? Getting rid of the sacrifice. Right? Persecuting Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? The sins of his youth. His bones are full of the sins of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though we hide it under his tongue. Right? You never get a straight answer from Esau, man. Never. He's a liar and the father of it. pursuant to John chapter 8, verse 44, right? But yeah, I pray you edify. I just wanted to touch on that. Call Allah, YaHaWah, BaHaSham, YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham, Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the chiefs well, rule well. Kwame Yasharallah, Abba Baba.